All right, Freedom Team, good morning. It is great to have you guys. Great to see you. If you are a guest with us, welcome. You're always welcome. We do this every week, every Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. It's the same Zoom link, freedomteamzoom.live. It's great to have you here. Seriously, we always have a great time on here. We learn a ton of stuff. You know, I've been telling people, we try to get so many people on here because of just the nuggets you'll pick up. Sometimes the whole topic is something that, wow, this is something I got to implement in my business. Sometimes maybe not, but you'll pick up things, you know, as we all work together and share ideas and questions come out. You'll just learn different things along the way. My wife and I, you know, Lane, we've been doing real estate here in Colorado Springs for 23 years now. We had 10 extra closings last year, 160,000 extra in commission from things that I picked up on these Tuesday masterminds. So I'm grateful that I'm forced to be here because I lead it. Because I don't know if I would be every week. I might not, you know, it's just typical. We get busy, we get sidetracked. So I would just tell you guys, put it in your schedules, just put it on there every week. There's going to be some weeks you can't come, but you can always find the recordings on our YouTube channel or in the workplace group. If you're part of Freedom Team, we post them in there usually a day or two after the training. So, guys, today, one of our own, Sean Shellsmith and his wife Blanca, they've been doing real estate since 2006. They practice real estate in Dallas, which is where they live right now, but they're also licensed up in Minneapolis, and they also do deals in Mexico. So got some big things going on. They've been with EXP for 6 years and been Icons for 4 years. So they know what they're doing, and they got some unique things. Sean shared some things a couple months ago in one of our trainings. Again, this Tuesday training started throwing out some things. I'm like, wow, we got to get you in here to train. Like he's got some ideas here that I was like, okay, that is unique and something that I had never considered. And so, Sean, I'm going to turn it over to you. We appreciate your time. I know you're busy. You got lots going on, but man, we appreciate you pouring into the group here. I know you got some great things to share today. So. Take it away, man. It's all yours. Thank you.
Well, hey, thanks everyone for having me on and give me a little ear for the next few minutes. And I wish I could come. I wish I would be disciplined to jump on these Zooms more. I really will try to make an effort because I do learn a lot every time I come as well. Like I was on with it was about the AI with
Nick
Krem. So yeah, he was sharing a bunch of nuggets that day. So guys, what I'm going to share with you guys today is something we've developed over the years. It's nothing. It was kind of something that we just developed actually from me working at Best Buy when I was a young guy. And I was paying attention on how that company was surging as a leader in their space. And I was just a little Geek Squad agent, except I focused on the home theater section of the business. So I was the guy who would go and hang your like 50-inch plasma TV, and I would put all the speakers in the wall. And while I was at that company, I was at the headquarters in Minneapolis. That's where they started with Best Buy. And so I got to listen to the founder of Geek Squad, and it was great listening to him. That guy's a genius, and he built that company, and then Best Buy bought Geek Squad, and he did his thing. But so Best Buy, the reason I bring it up is because they had an amazing program for their employees, and that was called the Best Buy Employee Discount. And it was what they were doing is they were using it as a retention tool, right? Their employees would get all the good bonuses and the stock bonuses and all that stuff. Kind of reminds us of EXP, right? So they had janitors there that were millionaires because they got in early and they had the stock options, and they also allowed the employees to purchase at company dollars and like with a 5% markup on products. So you could get all these great electronics, computers, and all kinds of stuff for even your home electronics and all that stuff, really, really cheap, and that really helped retain those employees. So then when we started our business, my wife was full-time. At first, she was full-time for the first like 3 or 4 years or 5 years. She was like the short sale queen. So we were just grinding, trying to make it in real estate. And I was working full-time at Best Buy Geek Squad. And I was kind of like soaking up all this information. I'm like, how can I adapt this philosophy of retention to real estate? And so I thought to myself, why don't I just start my own little side company? And that way, if I ever leave the company, I can actually buy things at cost, and I can get things like Best Buy buys things at cost, like dirt cheap, right? So that's what I did. I opened up my own LLC. It was super simple. Then I started doing side jobs, and that's how I made it through the recession, basically. We'd sold real estate, closed on a few properties because they were short sales. They took forever, and I did side jobs on the side, but I was able to buy these products at cost. And then I thought to myself, well, wait a minute. What if I implement this to real estate? And what if my clients want something for cheap? I can be the resource. They can come back to me as that constant loop of, hey, Sean and Blanca, can you guys get me this? Can you guys get me this? Kind of like the movie The Shawshank Redemption, right? I'm the guy that can get it for you. So we wanted to create that for our real estate company, and our goal was literally, the goal was all born out of, we wanted to be a referral by referral only business. We didn't want we didn't want to chase leads. We didn't want the internet leads. We wanted to work with our people, give them enough value so they would actually give us referrals, and we can build our little empire with that philosophy. And so this strategy I'm going to show you guys today, you guys can just take it, adapt it to how you guys like, but it has really worked for us, and we've done it in a few different ways, not only getting things for cheap, but also some other things. So I'm going to share my screen and just kind of go through just a couple visual things so we can see what I'm talking about here. Okay, so when we meet with a client, we're like everyone. They think we're just a real estate agent, right? So our job is to see how can we differentiate ourselves. And I created this buyer guide to document to some of the things we offer, right? And let me just see here, page 2 will load. This is just a EXP thing they provided. The roadmaps, nothing special. Some of our loan programs we offer. I think that one's actually doesn't exist anymore. I have to update my buyer guide here. Nothing special. We got our blogs. Get the app. Here's our trusted referral partners. So here's where some of the stuff becomes, they're kind of like, they're leaning in and say, okay, so you guys can get discounts on windows, furnace and AC, appliances, electronics. And I explained to them, yep, through our LLC, if you guys need appliances or Windows is one of the largest markups, as you guys know. People drop like $50,000 to $80,000 on new windows. I just call my window guy, he knows he's just only going to be doing the installation. He's not going to be making money on the windows themselves. He measures them, we order them. And the last client that did this, I think I saved him about $18,000, and I marked it up like $2,000. Just to kind of cover my expenses. But I saved him a ton of money because he got a quote from a window company. And here's the thing. Now, he bought this house 5 years ago, and now he got windows through me, and I saved him like $18,000 or something. Do you think he's ever going to go anywhere? Do you think he's ever going to refer another agent? And so I do this with my clients and I kind of keep reinforcing it through my marketing so they know that this is one of the benefits they get with Sean and Blanca. And this benefit, what it does, it basically stays with them as long as we are their preferred agent. Now, maybe I can see a few of you and see, maybe you guys already do this. Does anyone in the group kind of do this already? Or no? No? Okay, I can see a few of you here. So it sounds like a pain, right? Oh, I got to go open up an LLC, right? But again, my ultimate goal was to become that referral machine, right? And this is just one of those things I do. So let me see about the next page, see if I updated it. Now, for added value, we also provide what we call a closing gift, but we spend around $100 to $150 for this closing gift, and I'll kind of show you. This link will open here. Clients get to choose their closing gift before closing. And this is another thing I noticed, that agents will go out there and make a $10,000, $15,000 commission, and they show up to closing with a little bouquet of flowers. And I thought to myself, you know what? I think I can do better than that. And I think if people start learning this and they close with their friend, and the first thing they say is like, oh yeah, I got a Roomba vacuum or a smart lock or a Bose speaker for my closing gift, or even this new one I put on here, the bird feeder with the camera. Just anything you want, that might make sense. A whole 83 set toolkit for when they want to get busy and start on the house. This is my main package that I offer to my clients for closing gifts, and it just makes it a lot more special. Some people don't really care about it, but some people are like, this is awesome, I can't wait to choose my gift, and they like get all excited about it. Now, I actually came up with another package, which you might think I'm kind of crazy, but I'm going to show you real quick. I've got them saved here in my bookmarks. This is our top tier buyer promo gift. Okay. These ones run about 800 bucks. But when I'm trying to get a new client, for example, let's say I meet someone at the open house and it's a very large buyer, or let's say it's in the 700s to a million price bracket, I might need to pull out the big guns. So this is what I offer for my kind of like only when I want to put it out there. These are, top of the line espresso machine. Since I live in Texas, I have a big gun safe they can get. iPad Pro, Tesla charger with $1,000 towards a new car. I don't know, that one's getting a little bit hate lately. I don't know why. And then we also throw a housewarming party with a budget of $850 for food and drinks for all their friends to come, right? So we can mingle and organize that housewarming party on their new house. So that's been fun. Also, a lifestyle photo shoot. We pay our photographer, I think it's only like 500 bucks, and they go there and shoot the family in the new home. So again, this is setting me apart from the average agent, right? And it's something that I can talk about when I meet people. It's something different than I can talk about when I'm doing an onboarding consultation. I'm not just talking about the same old, like, okay, I can show you homes and negotiate your offer. Of course I can, I'll do that. I've been doing this for almost 20 years. What else do you have for me, right? Now, one of the challenges, I would just be honest, is being able to explain this and articulate it in a way that people understand. And they're like, sometimes they say, well, what do you mean? You guys sell windows? And I'm like, okay, we don't sell windows. But if you own a home, you should know that things are very expensive. And in the last 5 years, things have literally doubled or tripled the cost of what it would take to upgrade a house. So why not help our clients, if they're going to get a new floor or if they're going to get new windows, they're going to call us, right? So I put it on my website, the best we know how. So I have a little video describing it. There's the buyer promo. We also give back to some charities that we believe in. Christian School in Mexico right now is one we're literally helping them build. And then along with our like giveaways and savings, we also have our trusted partners. So we all know that we have a list of trusted handymen and contractors, right? But do we package it so people can understand that Shauna Blanca or you guys have it, like it's like almost like a package, or what we call you have a label for everything that you do. So like I said, I have buyer promo, I have trusted partners, I have client discounts, right? All these things I have a name for, and that's because it has to people have to be able to remember it. So when someone wants a referral for a painter, a lot of times they'll just call us. But I also created a easy form so they could submit it. Let me see if I have it here. I think it's right here. So if they're like, hey, I need some stuff, I need something. Sometimes I just send them this form and they're like, okay, I need windows, whatever. I need a handyman. They can just go down the line and choose. Oh, by the way, I need, I need a good insurance guy, whatever. And then anything else, they can just type it in and submit it. So I got one of these submissions this morning from my website. It was just a lead form, but this is called Typeform. Have you guys heard of Typeform? Other ones are called Jotform, or a lot of times your website can do it, but this is one I really like because you can add images and stuff, and it's pretty slick.
So these are all created. These pages you're showing us are created through Typeform.
Right.
People were asking that question. How did you create these? So the guide itself, is it through Typeform?
Correct.
Okay.
Typeform. Yep. You can do tons of stuff on Typeform. And I have my guidelines here. You can't just buy a $100,000 rehab home and get the gift, right? There's a couple guidelines. I have to get a full commission, right? If I split it with other agents, I'm not giving you, there's a couple guidelines. So you got to be smart about this. Sure. And then submit their name and boom, they get the closing gift. But so let's just see, what are you guys' first impressions on having these kind of benefits for your clients? Does this seem overwhelming? Does it seem like something you might want to like adapt to your own business? Like, what are you guys' thoughts initially by looking at this?
It seems like I need that connection. This is amazing.
I'm telling you, it gives you a conversation to have other than like the ones you've always had, right? Like,
Yes.
hey, we do this for our clients. Have you ever heard that before? And people are like, no, I've never heard of agents hooking up us discounts on like, you know,
Yeah.
windows or anything for the home. It's a new approach. Anyone else have anything similar to this or comments?
Well, we're all in the chat group. We're asking, how do you get the
Oh,
gifts?
I got to open up my comments. I'm
We
sorry.
are
You're good. You're good.
We're in the chat like,
monitoring
tell
it
us
as
how to
we
get the
go here.
chargers.
Yeah. All right.
If somebody
So
clicks on like if say I'm one of your clients, I want that espresso machine because that's what I would take right here. That's my first thought. I drink a lot of coffee.
yeah, I'll show
If
you.
I wanted that link right there, or if I wanted that, what happens when I go to that page? Like,
okay.
Tell me when I click on that, is it just take me to a thing and I just order it and it comes to me? Is that what happens?
No, I have to order it on Amazon. So I just create my
order
list on Amazon. I'll just show you what Typeforms looks like. Typeforms. So you in here and you just have promotions. For example, I have my promotions in here.
Okay.
My top tier, my regular one here. So
Okay.
when they submit this, it just shoots me an email. Oh, Nancy just submitted and she wants the bird feeder. And it just goes to my email as a new Typeform submission, just like a lead, really.
Okay.
And then from there, I just go to Amazon, order it, I send it to myself, and I bring it to closing.
Gotcha.
That's how easy that is. And then
Wow.
for my discounts, right? So you have to have an LLC, and basically I figured out who are some major players in the what we call a distributor space. So if you want to write this down, there could be in your city because they're pretty large. So ABC Supply.
Oh yeah.
ABC Supply. You can sign up with them if you have an a tax ID number and your LLC. And typically what I tell these companies is just like, hey, I'm a real estate agent and I also own a home renovation company. And I want to go ahead and get an account with you guys so I can start ordering product and do some deals. And like, and they're like, oh yeah, here's the form, fill it out. It's usually like a 1-page form. You just fill it out and with your information and your business name, and you're approved. And now you can purchase at dealer cost. That's how easy it's been. Another one for Windows, ABC Supply will have Windows, but there's another one called, the name's a little bit weird. Window company. I'll think of it in a second. If you like electronics, there's Wave Electronics. Wave Electronics. And see if I can find. Maybe I'll just show you my quote that I got because it was pretty substantial. Yeah, Coleman.
What's the charge for Typeform, Sean? Do you know how much?
It's about $30 a month.
Okay.
Again, technically, if you wanted to do this on the cheap, you could use Google Forms and it's free, right?
Okay.
And Google's just right here. You go down to the apps. You go down to Forms. Where'd it go? I don't use much anymore.
The purple one right there on the use pad at the top.
There you go.
Top left. There you go.
Yep, you can just use Google Forms. It just looks kind of ugly, So this is typically just when people want to onboard just for data entry stuff. It's not for like client facing, in my opinion.
Typeform, you can add pictures and links and all kinds of stuff in there. Yeah.
I'm just going to get this name for him, Windows. I never remember the name of this company. Sorry, guys.
I have a question. So, they say it's okay to copy if you copy the right cat, and you're the right cat today. And so I was wondering, do you have a way that you can send us your website so I can, I really want to take a look at it to see how I could see the gift options that you chose, because I love your gift options, like even the housewarming party up to $850, the coolers and things like that. Like, is there something you can pass on to us right now? So
Sure. I'll share you my buyer promo, my guide here.
Yes.
And I'll show you that. I'll put a bunch of things in the link here.
Yes, that's great.
Here's my buyer guide, and this is just a Canva design. You can just do it yourself. So the chat.
Nice.
So, okay, I also had a few things on the meeting. I'm going to pull up my email. I didn't even we've prepared, and I told them I was going to teach on a few topics. So client rewards, personalized closing gift, trusted partners, exclusive client discounts. And like I said, I package this in a way that I stay top of mind. I mean, the closing gift, it's kind of a little bit of a gimmick, really, but people tend to like it. But I'm not going to always talk about it, right?
All right.
But when I tell my client's story, like on a blog or a post, I always kind of mention, yeah, they got to choose the Bose speaker for their closing gift, just a little added little, something.
Love it.
And so that's kind of those were my topics for today. And we can keep, I'll send you guys here in the chat.
Yeah.
Here is my buyer guide.
That's so super cool. Very smart.
The website. Put on to client rewards. I've got a bunch of them kind of laid out there.
I love this idea. I mean, just to put something together like that, just pick things that we would want to offer as client gifts, closing gifts, create our own page, something to have in a buyer guide.
Yeah. So now what I do is I bring a swag bag for my clients listing presentation, and I have a seller guide in there. And then obviously for my buyers, when I onboard them, I have the buyer guide. And then because they don't retain everything you tell them, right? So they have this and they take it home and they're like, oh yeah, I remember they do all this stuff and we can choose it. And they're usually a QR code on the printed version. They can just scan it right there. Yep.
Let's dig in more to the go back a page, the client discounts.
Yep.
So you've got these partnerships, basically. I mean, you're getting discounts because you've signed on with different companies with your LLC.
Correct.
Okay.
And what I found is that with appliances, there's not much markup. So what I do is I find a local scratch and dent or just a outlet for appliances in my area.
Okay.
And I make sure my clients know, like, if you want a discount, this is an outlet store. They have perfectly good appliances for like 30% off, because it's hard to get deals on appliances actually. But furnace and AC, that one in some states, you might even have to have a license. But I figured out if you just give in with an HVAC guy, you might be able to get a furnace or an AC at cost. And typically I can get a furnace, the basic model furnace, for like maybe $1,600.
Okay.
And an AC model around the same price, around $1,500 for each of those. But now people are dropping $8,000 to $10,000 for a unit, sometimes even for one unit, they're getting completely hosed.
Right.
And that's just, how's it going to help you build equity if you're dumping all your money into all this overpriced stuff, right?
Right. I mean, one of the things that we've talked about before, and I think this is very key for all of us, is to become that person that your clients come to when they need anything for their home. I mean, you want to become that. You want to, you want them to be, you want to be top of mind for that. They need a plumber. We got to call Jeff. They need an electrician. Oh, we need to call Jeff. Who's his electrician that he uses? We need a furnace, something done to our furnace. Some repair work. We need to call Jeff. Jeff's got the guy. Like, I think to become that person, all of us, to create that vendor list, of trusted people that you can refer to them, home security. Like, just think about all the different categories that go along with your home, appliances, all that kind of stuff, and to become known as that.
So exactly. And it's been fun because it's rewarding to help people not get hosed on money, right? So it's really helping their family long term. But now think of this. How many of you guys think that you just give referrals to all these people and you don't really get anything back? Like, anyone raise their hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as real estate agents, do you think we might be missing an opportunity at the position that we're at to maybe get some of these referrals back? And so what I'm trying to get at is, like, what I'm working on now is a platform that I can use with my LLC, because I already created an LLC for this, right? I can start receiving marketing dollars from my vendors who I consistently send business to, and they can legally pay me, because let's face it, I'm not going to send business endlessly anymore. My painter knows now when I send him a deal, he's going to chip back a nice tip to Sean and Blanc, because If he doesn't want to participate, because we send him like 10 or 15 deals a year that he gets to, a $5,000 paint job every time at least, then I can go find another painter. And he's more than happy to tip me for sending him some deals. So I'm working on a system where I can actually, when I get this, like almost like when you submit a referral on EXP, it already sends out the contract like that. You guys ever use that system? On the back office, they have their international referral. Have you guys not done that? Guys, I got to show you real quick. Just because this is how we do it. And I'm going to just give you a quick mini class. It's going to take about 2 minutes.
Yep, do it.
So when we go to Orkta, what is it called? Orkta?
OKTA, yeah.
Yeah, so right here, I would save it on my browser. You guys have to have the browser saves. Just log in here. This, guys, is huge. So if you ever send a referral via EXP, you got to go down to the global EXP global referral platform. Okay, right there. All you do is I think it's wanting me to sign in, so sign in again. Refer to an EXP agent. You can go research an agent, right? So you just go in here and there's like, how do you spell your last name again, Jeff?
Morrell. I think that was for the email. You put it in. Yeah.
Is it right here?
Yeah.
See if you're in here.
Probably need to take out the Morrell in the email column.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
sorry.
Delete that. There you go. There we go.
Searching.
Top left is me. There's my wife.
Boom. Client info, referral fee, whatever. Dates. Once you do this, guys, you never have to worry about this referral like not getting you credit for this referral, because it's going to automatically send the referral agreement with all this information to Jeff and me, and we can just e-sign it, and it's that simple. So I just gave you a tool, but this is how we're going to do my referral agreements with vendors now, because I'm really done with being the guy that just sends everyone everything else and they don't even say thank you. They're going to be sponsoring my events now. They're going to be giving me referral bonuses. And I mean, I'm not going to be greedy about it. Like if I have a guy who, I refer for a whole basement finish and the job goes sideways and he ends up making no money, he's a friend vendor of mine. I'm not going to make him pay me. But the majority of the time they're getting these big, massive jobs, and I'm just being the one who's being an idiot for all these years, not capitalizing on my position. Because who spends all the marketing dollars? The painter or Sean and Blanca and you guys? Yeah. Who does all these things to get all these clients? And all we do is sift them off to everyone. So that's kind of my thing I'm working on next. I'll be happy to share it with you when I get it ironed out.
It'd be great. What kind of disclosures? Do you need to have any kind of disclosure to people? I mean, if you're getting money back, do you have to do anything with that?
I do. I have it on my buyer agreement. I have a separate page that I wrote up. First, I have my photo release. I wrote up a photo release agreement, and I wrote up my preferred vendors. So if you guys want to look and see, I think I just downloaded it recently.
I love the idea of getting them to sponsor, getting them to pitch in on some marketing. Because if you're meeting with clients all the time and you're giving them, every buyer you're working with is getting that list of people, like there's marketing costs there, and we should get some cooperation on that. When it comes to marketing, client events, we've done different things. We've had trainings on here on Tuesdays about client events and getting, you can almost do your client event at no cost to you if you get 2 or 3 vendors to come in and pitch in on it and put it together. It's a benefit to them, and obviously a big benefit to you to do that. We got trainings on that. So,
yep. This is what I put on my buyer and seller agreements. I just have a photo release. I have a referring partners, so I let them know, like, hey, it's a team effort. We have good contacts. If you guys want to use our contacts and partners, they're going to give you better service on average. But I even tell them here, like, they're not immune from mistakes. So please don't take it out on us if they make a mistake or you don't like them. Like if you want to find your own contacts, you're more than welcome to find your own contacts. And I also say here, some of our referral partners have chosen to give us some marketing contributions and for advertising for our website and our magazine and all the things we do. So I just kind of let them know.
Sure.
And then I have an inspection warning, like, hey man, don't waive your inspection. If you do, blah blah blah. You know.
Right. Can you send this page?
Yeah, I think I can do that. So
put that in the link. And guys, I'll share all these links. You can get them now. Just save them if you want to go back through them and just to get some ideas if you want to do something like this yourself. But also, I'll put these in the, when we post the video, it'll all be there as well.
There we go. Share. So what other questions you guys have? You can
Let's just get you guys thinking. Let's unmute yourselves and throw out some comments and some thoughts. Does it give you?
Yeah, I'd like to comment if I can here. This is great stuff. Yeah, man. Sean, thanks so much for sharing all that. And man, what a phenomenal way to stay in touch with your base. Absolutely amazing stuff, man.
Thank you.
I want to copy you, man.
Do it, adapt it, copy it, whatever you guys do. It's just we as agents are missing the boat when it comes to our position, and we should be doing this definitely.
Yeah, the vendor list it's just phenomenal way to keep that vendor list and all that stuff available is absolutely cool.
How often, Sean, do you send stuff out to your past clients, like to your database? I mean, in terms of just keeping it out there.
Yeah, so I only do once a month because I think I'm getting about an 80% open rate.
Nice.
Because I just don't spam them, and then I just do a newsletter and I try to incorporate a video into that newsletter.
Okay.
So there's almost so they can see what we're doing, and
for sure.
People that don't like to do video, they can read the newsletter a little bit. So that's what I do.
And that's past clients, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
We do one big fall festival every year, and we invite all of our past clients and just A people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's we do food and games and pumpkin carving, and it's been very successful over the past. Been doing it for about 8 years.
Okay.
Is it too much to ask? Okay.
Go ahead.
Is it too much to ask you for your web designer's information? Because I want my
yeah.
to look exactly like yours.
She can help you with the booklets and absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, if I can have his information, that'd be great. Or anything that because if you could train me too, I don't mind paying you for your time. But this is amazing. I mean, it's just you're right. It sets you apart, certainly. And I'm in love with every bit of it. Every bit of it. So good. I'm so grateful I hopped on the call today.
Well, thank you again. Here's my web designer and her name is Johanna.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And she's an agent, and she basically just got pregnant, and she's like, you know what, I'm out. I'm gonna go move to Ohio with my husband, and they bought a really nice big house, and they're just chilling over there. So they do web work now and all kinds of fun stuff. So she's really good.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely, guys. Yeah. So any other questions that you guys have?
What other questions come up, guys? Questions, thoughts, comments, ideas? What does it get you thinking as far as some things that you could do with this? Any thoughts there? Anybody?
It just seems like a great way to have that conversation. Like you said, Sean, you're differentiating yourself, but I don't know any other realtors that are going out, hey, we're going to support you on the back end if you need all these appliances or whatever, windows, whatever. And just it's so different that it takes the mind off of the drudgery of the home sale or the home purchase. It adds another kind of marketing spin that kind of eases the pain of the transaction, if you will. It's kind of a really neat thought.
Yeah, I'll do another, or I'll show you guys another thing that we do for open houses, because you have to have a little bit of an elevator pitch when you're doing your opens, right? And it's good to hand it's good to have a little flyer and hand them physically a card. So we came up with this open house card. I'll kind of just show it to you, and I put it in the link. Share screen, boom, boom. Okay, I'm already sharing. Here we go. Gotta go to my browser. Where'd it go? Our open house.
Are your designs shareable on Canva?
I made it so you can get it and look at it. I don't know if they're shareable because they would have to, I would have to add you to my team, and I don't think I can do that. You know what I mean? So we can figure out what do you mean by shareable, because I just shared it, but it's not like.
Well, yeah, I've gone to Canva quite a bit, and some designs I can view them, but when I try to add them to my projects, I'm not able to transfer them over.
Oh, I see.
To edit them, right?
Right.
Let me see if that might be a setting here. Link, template link. What does this mean? Anyone with this link can use the design as a template. Sign is required. Okay, well, I'll just create it as a link. That would be it then. This is just, maybe you want the other ones too, so maybe I can make some of those real quick and I can send them in the chat or something. But so this is something we have at our open houses because you know, people don't really want to talk to us half the time, but if you can say, hey, have you ever heard, you know, we got a huge promotion going on this week or whatever, this month, this season, and your client discounts, and you hand them this and you start explaining some of your added values. And yeah, we're into saving our clients a lot of money and also making them a lot of money. Like our team actually is averaging 100.3 right now. List to sale ratio. So that's, you know, that's not bad. If we can average a good list, most agents don't know their list to sale ratio, which is interesting if you calculate that. So this is something we offer at our open houses to get the conversation going, and I find that it's really handy because you only have like 30 seconds, right, for an elevator pitch.
It's just a card that you print out, and they have that ready for them when they come in.
Yeah, and I printed at Office Depot. They have a business side. If you sign up as a business, again, you can get 50% off printing at Office Depot, and it looks a little bit upgraded paper. I just make it look really nice.
Yeah.
Sean, have you ever had any agents make a complaint because, you know, a lot of times, you know, there's an amount that for closing gifts. I know you've heard of this before. I do my own thing, but has any other agents ever complained or anything for some of the amount on the closing gifts? Has that ever come up?
No, I can feel their jealousy though.
Right.
But they have not. But my wife always worries about that. She's like, we can't give more than $25. I'm like, well, I mean, technically I can give away my whole commission if I want to. So if someone's saying I can't give away $100 gift, I'm like, I don't get it. What are they talking about? But again, you're technically correct. So it's like, well, you want me to put this on the HUD? You know, it's like,
right. I said I just do my own thing, but
yeah,
yeah,
I just literally just do it. I don't know.
I could just see Brent Go was kind of the same thing. He's like, oh, I can't do this and can't do that. I just did it and worried about it later. That's
think
kind of what he said.
Check with your accountant, but yeah, for tax deduction purposes, it's $25 per closing gift. So what I generally do is have a small closing gift, but then a week later, I'll either drop by or mail a client appreciation gift, which is an additional tax deduction.
Yeah.
You know, marketing promotions are really handy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It is all in how you categorize it. So if you want to call it top of mind or client appreciation, it's different than closing gift.
Right. I call it buyer promo. I don't know. It's actually a promo to get them as clients. Initially, that's how it started. Is to like, hey, you know, we didn't have all this repeat business. So we started getting aggressive. And in my initial buyer promo, guys, was actually, I would give them like I could get this stuff at cost, right? So like a receiver and like a 5.1 surround. And I was such a young agent that I was installing it for them. So they'd buy the house and I would go and install it for them and they would get the whole system. It was about $1,000, but you know, we just were like, if we're going to give a gift, it's going to be freaking like amazing. So And back in the day, home theater was like a big deal. Like everyone wanted a home theater. It was like kind of a trend.
Still have mine.
Yep.
I want to hit a little deeper on the client discounts. Again, I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of it. So somebody calls you like, "Hey, Sean, whatever, we need new windows," or or whatever, our furnace went out, whatever. Like, so is on that buyer guide, are there links on there for that, or do they contact you because they need that stuff?
So the link, the type form that I have is only to collect kind of like what is a general thing they're looking for.
Gotcha. Okay.
From there, I'll put them in contact with my window installer, for example. He's got to go measure it, or maybe they've got measurements from a contractor or whatever. So he's going to be able to get paid by installing the windows, but he's not going to make money on the windows, right? So he's got to put the quote out, like the measurements professionally, so I can go and give it to the company and they can build the windows because they're all custom. If they do it wrong, someone that's got to buy those windows is not going to be me, right? So I tell them like, hey, this is going to be your order, right? You own this order, so you got to make sure it's ordered right. The other thing that can be a little tricky is to find an HVAC guy that will put in the furnace that you buy, right? But some people are like, well, Sean, thanks. I can get the furnace from you at half price, but I'm just going to go ahead and sign up with the company and pay full price because I want the warranty. You get the warranty if you buy it through my company, but they want it done they just want it done by the company. So at least, but I've given them that option and they didn't feel comfortable with it just because it wasn't like a company. So I've done it a bunch of different ways. I've gotten people to install off of Facebook Marketplace that install furnaces for a living. They just do it on the side. I mean, we can get granite. We places where we can get granite and countertops as well.
Right.
So you'll see those stone companies that they look like a warehouse because they're literally only for contractors.
Is your LLC for this vendor connections, or is it the LLC for your real estate business?
Good question. I've used my LLC actually that started as a home theater company. So I changed the name. I have a doing business as. So I have it called Smart Home MN for Minnesota. And I just made it as like it started off as a home theater company initially. And then essentially I just changed the name and I use that. So I don't use my real estate company.
Two separate LLCs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That was
Okay.
my question.
But I don't know that it would be a problem if you did use your real estate LLC. I don't think it would be a problem. In the beginning, I was just a little concerned that they wouldn't give me an account if I'm a real estate agent. They had to be like, I had to be like a house renovator or a designer or something. So I came up with my LLC that sounded more like a business, but I would ask your tax guy if it's even necessary to have a separate LLC for that, because I don't quite know. I'm just winging this thing just like everybody, guys. Yeah, go ahead.
So, just one question that one of my guys brought up on here that I'm thinking too, because we always have to think about that, is getting sued. So have you ever had anybody say, well, I don't like the guy that you did and I'm going to sue you over it, and anything like that? That's always scares me. Like, because we're told that we don't want to recommend anybody. We refer them. Don't use the word recommendations, that type of thing, because they could always come back and sue us.
Yeah, and I think on my disclosure, on my picture guide, I think I mentioned something like that.
You did. I just want to know if you had an attorney draw that up, or if it just says that you can't sue us if anything goes wrong.
It's really more like I wrote it. I did not have an attorney draw it up, but I'm just in good faith letting them know, like, hey, if you don't want to use our people, if you're not comfortable using my people, like they can make mistakes. I'm not going to be responsible for or oversee their work. And this is all I've had. It's worked for me, but again, it's nothing like bulletproof. No. Yeah, I would say I'm putting myself in a little bit of a risk. Definitely.
So,
Yeah, I don't have an attorney.
we have our favorite lender,
good.
but I would recommend you shop it around a little bit. Here's the guy that we've used a lot, but you're free to use whoever you want to use. Here's my guy. Here's two other numbers. Shop it around. Here's the inspector we usually use, but
Well, at least it shows your intent to be as upfront and transparent as
Right.
possible. And I think that'll go a long way.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, guys, that's I think if you kind of build out your twist to this, it's going to be great for everyone who wanted to do it. And
if anything, it reminds us all, I think, guys, get your vendor list, and if you're a newer agent, I'll tell you, it's a great way just to set up some coffees with people and just let somebody know you call a plumber and just, hey, I'd love to meet for coffee for half an hour, hear about your business. I'm a newer agent and looking to get some trusted partners to be able to work with and refer business to, and you could set that coffee and just and get a good feel, maybe use them once or twice, see what they do, or get some referrals from other agents. Who's your go-to plumber, and put that list together, but go meet them. And we've had trainings on here where, you can get referrals from them. You get a house painter that's working, I forget who it was, but they, all of a sudden it's like, man, that house painter goes out there, like, I want to be your guy. I want to be your realtor. If you go to that house, they're painting it either to, just because it needs painting and they have no intention of moving. They're just, getting the house in order, or they're getting ready to sell it this summer, and you want to be the realtor that painter thinks about when they go paint that house and they're asking those questions. Hey, well, what are you painting the house for? Because it might be the quality of the paint. You're going to be here for another 10 years. We're going to use top quality paint. You're looking just to get the house prettied up so we can get it on the market. You might use, a level 2 or 3 out of a level 7 of paint, and whatever. And you can find that out. The painter, now think about me, the realtor, so I can get the referral. Hey, I got a great realtor you got to call, whatever. And you start referring some business back and forth. But you can set those relationships with vendors.
Yeah.
And to have a good vendor list that you send out to your clients and put it as an attachment on your newsletter every time you send it out or whatever. Just, you want to become that top of mind guy that they call, when they need whatever they need. They're putting in new flooring. Got to call Jeff. We want to get new cabinets in the bathrooms. We got to call Jeff. We need some electrician work done. We need to call Jeff. You want to become that person. And Sean's just taking it to the next level is what you've done with it, Sean. It's awesome.
People need to know that they can save money, guys. That keeps people that keeps their attention.
100%.
Right? They don't care how many houses we sold. The whole game. They don't care. They don't care about Icon.
Yeah. That radio station, WIFM, what's in it for me? That's how they think. That's how we all think. So, any other questions or comments for Sean before we wrap it up? Good stuff. To get you guys thinking a little bit. Things you can do, things you can play around with, come up with some stuff, some ideas, things you can put together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, this
Thank
is
you
amazing.
very much, Sean.
Very cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome, everyone.
And
Thank you so much,
if you guys, Sean, are you okay? If they had a specific question, they could always email you through workplace chat or give you a call directly, whatever, if something comes up and, whatever. But I would look at what Sean provided, look at his buyer guide. And we could all we should all have our own buyer guides, seller guides as well. Put that together with Canva. We all have Canva now for free. Canva Pro, a lot of good stuff in there. But take that and what could I come up with for my buyer guide? And again, I love the idea of the gifts.
I'll show you guys. I got so much stuff on my plate that I ended up making a magazine. So I'll just get it. I'll send you the link here for that. Just because, I've taken it, like you said, to the next level. I'll even share my screen real quick. I know you guys probably want to get going here, but
no, we're good.
Seconds here. So I created my own magazine. Okay. And I got the idea from, that company that sends those magazines.
Reminder
But
Media.
I figured I got too many good
Paid for
things.
those.
Yeah, I got too many good things that I can't just put myself on the cover and then fill it with a bunch of nonsense. So I just went and made my own. So I'm going to send this once a year to my A clients only. So it's going to be a lot of money. Really, it's going to be it's going to cost me I don't know, $1,500 or something or more. I don't know. Or maybe it's $3,000. I have to check. But we just kind of went through, we offer Mexico. So I have all my Mexico stuff in here. I I just talked about like some of the things we do when we were in Minnesota. We love to do like articles, I made my own articles essentially. Here's where I start talking about my buyer perks and our discounts. Places we like to go, restaurants we like to do. Here's our partners.
Wow.
So all of our trusted partners, all you gotta do is scan, QR codes and they can get going. And then bragging about, we've made our clients over $85,000 just in the last few sales over list price, things like this, right? Relocation clients. And our team here, I got to add my new assistant I just hired to help me with this crazy mess. But yeah, so you can do a lot. Even an old crossword puzzle, right? Make it fun.
AI. Did you use AI for some of this stuff?
Yeah. No, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
There's my link to that magazine if you want to check it out. But
Nice.
no, it's just, we got to elevate ourselves, right? We got to take our position, and we have a lot of things to offer to people. Never pay retail again. Those are our things there. So
Where's the QR code take them? Like on that page? Where's that take them?
this goes where they can choose what they need from
Okay.
Typeform.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Okay.
And it's a QR code, and if they're on their phone, obviously they can't do the QR, so I put the link button. You see that?
So do you print this, or is it a digital magazine?
I do both. So I print
Both.
it and I mail it to my A clients only because it's like 185 people or something. I don't know.
Yeah. For sure.
And I was going to do sponsorships. This lady, I did it for her because she's a good client, but it got too complicated and printing is too expensive, and people were getting. So that's my only little sponsor. So anyway.
But I could see too. I mean, again, getting your vendors to just pitch in. Hey, I'm sending this out to all my clients. I've got a digital edition, and I'm going to send it out to everybody, and I've got a print edition I'm going to send out, and whatever. I'd love to put you in here for $200. I'll add you to the magazine. You get 7 vendors. There's $1,400. And I mean, I don't know. It just seems like you could do something with that.
It could. It takes so long to produce this stuff, and there was getting complicated, and people are like especially in 2024, everyone was tight on the money.
Right. That makes sense.
So yeah, even an old recipe we put in.
There you go.
But anyways, guys, I won't take up too much of your time. I gotta go write the offer anyway.
Yeah.
Matt, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Sean, just on the trail of this, somebody clicks on the hat or the QR code, they go to the form site, and so how do you incorporate that with your guys? Because you're placing the orders for whatever the service is or whatever the item is, right? To your vendors physically.
Yeah, I have good question. Great question. So especially for windows and for furnace or something, I have my HVAC and window guy go there. They have to measure and create the quote, essentially the outline of the 15 windows. Here's all the dimensions. I take that and I give it to my window company. They produce a quote. Then I get payment from my client. Usually it's full payment for all the windows, or half, and then the rest on delivery. And they're custom, so it could take 3 or 4 weeks to get those windows back, custom ordered. And they'll even ship them right to the client's house for included, as long as it's a certain price point.
And that's amazing that how that works. And so does the vendor you're working with, do they chip in to you too, for, to support you by giving them business, or is it just gratis?
They're the vendor. Oh, you mean the installer?
Yeah, there or anybody else in the process, Yeah.
Well, it's hit or miss whether or not they want to. Sometimes I'm just happy to have a good guy that gives great pricing for my clients and that shows up and who's honest. I don't need an override on everything. But when it's like an overwhelming thing where I just send them so much business, then we kind of have to have an agreement on hey man, let's do something. But it's kind of, I just do it as it comes, as it goes. I'm not gonna try too hard to override everything.
That's fine. I was just curious how you did that. That's pretty amazing.
Great stuff. So,
well, cool guys.
Good. Sean, thank you very much. Totally appreciate your time. You got some great stuff that you do,
Yeah,
love this
awesome.
whole idea. Really, really gets us thinking. So Guys, thank
Great
you.
brain.
All these links, hopefully you got them on your computer. You can look through them.
Yep.
They will be posted along with the video, probably sometime tomorrow. We'll have this up on the workplace page for Freedom Team, and then also on the YouTube channel will be there as well. So again, if you're a guest, thank you for coming. Everybody else, call us, reach out to us if we can help you at all. We're here to help. Okay, don't hesitate on that. You know, Eric,
Thanks, everyone.
John, Kathy, Tim, myself. You guys have a great day. We'll see you soon. Okay.
Appreciate it.